aggressive as you're a it's a fart.
Put your hands up. I don't give a Put your hands up. Your hands behind your back. What happened?
I want to light you up again if you don't put your hands behind your back.
Get out your back now!
Yeah, I know.
Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at several cases of police misconduct, including an incident where an officer used a taser on a 17-year-old for an astounding 20 seconds, 4 times longer than recommended, causing the teen to go into cardiac arrest. Our first case of the day is regarding an incident in which officers used excessive force in the process of an arrest during a traffic stop. On June 29, 2024, in Newcastle County, Delaware, according to local police, an officer allegedly observed a car commit several traffic violations, along with being able to confirm that its registration was suspended without insurance, and observed an old bullet hole in the driver's side door that had police evidence markings on it. Consequently, the officer activated his emergency lights behind the car to initiate a traffic stop. However, the driver, Infinity Coleman, continued down a highway and then made a right turn onto another road. The car then continued to a parking lot before backing into a parking space. The officer later caught up and began to detain her. The following footage showcases what happened.
Step out. Because I asked you to.
No.
Yes.
For what?
Step out.
No.
You want to get locked up?
For what?
Right now, I've been resisting.
For
I
what?
asked you to step
You said
out.
I'm detained, but you never gave me a reason. You pulled me over, then you honked your siren because I'm backing up. Did you want me to stop on this other road? No, we're not doing that.
Step
We're
out.
not doing that.
Step out.
First of
We're
all,
done.
calm me the down because we're not fucking doing
I
this.
asked you to step out.
No. Get your supervisor.
Sorry, Francis. I know you're here.
Although one may argue that the officer was allowed to remove the driver from her car, the way he did so was not. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, officers will be trained in de-escalation tactics and techniques designed to gain voluntary compliance from a subject before using force, and such tactics and techniques should be employed if objectively feasible and they would not increase the danger to the officer or others. When feasible, reducing the need for force allows officers to secure their own safety as well as the safety of the public. However, rather than try to handle the situation in a reasonable manner, the officer escalated the situation, making it harder for him to deal with Ms. Coleman.
Because you got the right one. Because you were doing too much, you were following me, and then you went
You know why
overboard.
I was following you?
Why?
Because I saw you do at least 4 unsafe lane changes.
How?
No,
Because I did my blinkers, I waited to make sure there was cars.
Uncooperative driver.
Hey Siri, call phone. Make sure I have my lord on the phone.
That's fine.
Yeah, it is fine.
Okay.
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Okay,
It is indeed fine, since regardless of the situation, whether one is being casually questioned, detained, or arrested, you can always express your desire to speak to a lawyer. Requesting legal counsel isn't an admission of any wrongdoing. It's simply exercising your constitutional rights in many situations. In short, a person can express their desire to speak to a lawyer at any point during an interaction with a police officer.
you got one chance to step out of the car, or else I'm going to arrest you.
For what? You're saying
arrest.
that
The Supreme Court said a police officer can have you step
why
out
are
of
you
the car
stuttering? Breathe. Calm down.
because
I'm not going to do anything to hurt you, so calm down, breathe.
you have to step out of the car for any reason I deem necessary.
So first thing you did was come up to me.
No.
and
You're
you're
not dictating. No. First of all, you started screaming at me through the window. So obviously
you were
you're
doing a
hostile.
lot.
What am I doing? Explain to me. What am I doing?
3 times? You want me to explain it to you 3 times?
The person you're trying to
Because when our partner gets
I would
in,
like for your supervisor to come.
Okay.
Once your supervisor comes, I will listen to him or her.
Okay.
Or it, or whatever they
I am
pronouns
going,
are.
when my backup officer gets here, I'm going to pull you out and I'm going to put you in handcuffs.
And then when you put your hands on me, I'm going to make sure it's recorded.
It's
because I have
recorded.
cameras on my... Yeah, cops love to turn their cameras on when it's beneficial for them.
Listen, you're going to be under arrest. Okay.
Can we fast forward that part? You said we're going to wait for your person to come. What are we doing until then? Because I don't have any weapons on me, and I know you...
I'm going to place you under arrest. You're going to be under arrest. Okay. You know why?
Yeah, let me actually make sure I have your badge.
My badge. Okay. Yeah, I'll be on the paperwork.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Okay. So the reason I stopped you, multiple unsafe lane changes, no turn signal.
Oh, that's a
Your
lot.
tag is also suspended for no insurance. So your vehicle will be towed today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
So you want to step out?
No, I'm gonna wait. Get first stop.
Okay. Well,
You can stay right there. I'm not gonna pull off. You want my keys too?
we'll take the keys.
Okay.
It's going to be in the tow truck.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, I'm having fun with you in court, baby. We gonna have a day.
Well, that's all right. It's all this on
That's
camera.
awesome. I love that for us.
Okay.
I love that for us.
So
how's your day going other than this?
well, I'd rather not be dealing with this right now.
Me too. But you decided to stop me.
Well, that's because you're driving in an unsafe manner.
That's not accurate.
That's because you're driving in an unsafe manner. You might not think it's accurate, but we'll go to court.
Hang up. I know. I already said that. I'm gonna make sure my music's on.
I heard it come right now.
That's perfect. I know. It's okay.
Can you call now?
That's why I don't speak. I'm over here near where live. There's Royal Farms up near Bear. I have a some type of cop here. And he's talking about he wants to take my car.
I'm going to pull around and detain her.
First of all, you're not going to pull me out because I said I'll wait. Don't touch
Listen,
me. I said I'll wait.
Listen, I give you every opportunity.
I give you every opportunity. And I stated to you, I'm going to wait till your friends come. Don't touch me and I'll
get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. I'm not moving.
Move.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Don't put your hands on me. I said I was going to do it.
Get off me.
Then move.
I'm going to punch you in your face in 2 seconds.
Oh, okay, do it.
I got this hand.
What's wrong with you in court?
Despite stating that she would willingly get out of her car, the officer pulled Miss Coleman out and began forcibly detaining her. This was undoubtedly a violation of his department's use of force policy, which states, "Officers shall use only that amount of force that is objectively reasonable under the totality of the circumstances known to the officer at the time the force is used. Force may appear necessary at the time the force is used, given the facts and circumstances perceived by the officer at the time of the event to accomplish a legitimate law enforcement purpose." Furthermore, one has the constitutional right to talk to a lawyer before answering questions, whether or not the police tell them about that right. The lawyer's job is to protect your rights. Once a person says that they want to talk to a lawyer, officers should stop asking them questions. Since Ms. Coleman was talking to her lawyer while the officer pulled her out, he violated her fourth constitutional right, which states, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized."
On the ground.
That's gonna give me time? Thank you, guys.
Get on the ground. This didn't have to be like that. Get on the ground.
Give me a second, I'll get on the ground.
Get on the ground now.
Oh, honey, we don't have both.
Get on my foot! Get on my foot!
Get off his foot! Get the off his foot now!
Stop resisting!
Get up! No! Fucking grab onto my foot. Let go of my foot! Let go of his foot!
Oh, we got
Stay back! Stay back!
his foot now! Get off the foot now! Get off his foot now!
Still fighting.
Oh yeah, 700.
I got this one.
It takes 4 cars to give me that.
I got this one. You got this one?
The yellow one. Right?
Yep. I got this one.
Stop resisting and give your arm.
Give your arm now! No, but turn my face against so I can get it on camera.
It's on camera, ma'am. We're all on camera.
Are we?
Yeah.
You stuff. Cops, you're turn on the camera. Are you talking to me?
This didn't have to be like this.
Didn't you approach me aggressive as you're a and it took 4 cops to get a little girl like me down? I don't even weigh 200 pounds. I'm gonna blow your
This didn't have to be like.
Ass nigga.
Put it on the side.
Y'all lucky I'm handcuffed because if I wasn't and y'all wasn't on duty, y'all do this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm having fun with you, baby. And then you punch me in my face. Oh, honey.
That's what happens when you don't You shut the up.
Make me.
Turn your head and shake.
Make
I don't need to make you.
Make me.
I'm not in cuffs.
Are
you
you?
have a great day.
I am when I see you guys.
Okay. Stay on your side. Stay on your side so that you can breathe.
I'm good. Because if I die, then my daughter will be good.
Okay. Okay.
Listen, we're not playing this game, all right?
Do I give a fuck?
Get off your back.
Stay on your side.
What are you doing?
Get in the car.
Get in the car. Get in the car. Ready? Get in the car. Keep quiet. I'm gonna drag her. Let's get her to like a car has like 2 seats. You stop playing these games.
Fine. 3 cops.
You're not supposed to do this either.
Only I'm doing is leaning back. You're taking 3 cops. Huh? Okay. Only 150 took 3 cops. You want to buckle and finger me while you're down there?
Absolutely not.
Oh, while you're all up on my titties?
Because we have
Take
to.
them out.
Can you knock it the off?
No.
Stop acting like a
Disgusting. Knock it off. You got kids in there, and this is how you want to flip your neck?
Oh my God,
I don't know. I'm
oh
asking.
my God, you should take the car.
Okay, how about you just get in the car and
I love
knock
makeup
it?
on.
And you have a problem?
Yeah, I think I like makeup on.
Okay. Did I hurt your feelings? No, you want me to teach you how to do it?
No, I'm just looking at
Of course.
In the car. Put your feet up.
Did you say please?
Put your feet up.
Did you say please?
Put your feet in the car.
Say please.
Alright,
Dude, I swear to God. You don't fucking
knock your shit off, dude.
Somebody get the door. Ready? Ready?
Just shut the
Here,
door.
watch out.
It's fine. Just shut the door. Just shut the door.
Miss Coleman was eventually handcuffed and placed in a police vehicle. In addition to traffic violations, she was charged with 2 counts of offensive touching of law enforcement, 1 count of resisting arrest, and 1 count of disorderly conduct, according to Newcastle County Police, despite her having legitimate registration for her car at the time of the incident. As a result, at a press conference, Mr. Emeka Igwe, Coleman's lawyer, protested against these charges and criticized the actions of the officers. The following clips show footage from that conference.
Ms. Coleman was the victim of officers who assaulted her. It's important to understand that Ms. Coleman suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety. She has mental health challenges. As officers, you know you're going to encounter people who may have mental health challenges or may be going through whatever circumstances. You're trained to be a professional and to know how to de-escalate situations.
As previously mentioned, the officers were supposed to de-escalate the situation as much as possible, but failed to do so by only aggravating the victim, especially during the call with her lawyer. Therefore, it's no wonder that their actions also go against their department's mission statement, which states, "The Delaware Township Police Department is committed to protect, preserve, and safeguard the constitutional and civil rights of all citizens through impartial and courteous law enforcement. We shall ensure public safety and provide quality service in partnership with our residents. As police officers, our mission is to provide safe, courteous, and professional law enforcement protection and service for the residents and businesses of Delaware Township, as well as the citizens who visit and pass through our township."
What's not normal is for an officer to immediately to tell you to get out the car. Ms. Coleman was not a fugitive. She didn't have, this wasn't a stop for a violent potential defendant. This was a traffic violation, and the officer immediately, raising his voice, tells her to get out the car.
According to 2023 Delaware Code Statute 4122, a vehicle shall be driven as nearly as practicable entirely within a single lane and shall not be moved from such lane until the driver has first ascertained that such movement can be made with safety. According to the officer, this was the law that Miss Coleman had broken. Even if that were the case, the maximum penalty that would have been imposed is a $100 fine. This clearly does not warrant an arrest or the excessive force used by the deputy.
Immediately as soon as she got out the vehicle, the officers immediately decided to put hands on her. And if you notice from the video, they're pulling her in 3 different directions. There's no plan, there's no organization, there's no verbal commands. They're just immediately pulling her. Now I'll submit to you that 3 male officers cannot peacefully arrest a female who weighs 150 pounds without resorting to punching her in the head, then they're probably in the wrong profession. Before the 4th officer, the female officer, gets on the scene, one of the male officers starts to punch her in the head. I counted 4 times. There is no police manual in the United States that says it's okay, in order to get a suspect or someone you're arresting to comply, that it's okay to punch him in the head. That easily can cause a concussion, or could have caused death.
What Mr. Igwe was stating was indeed true. Upon arriving at the scene, the female officer proceeded to punch Miss Coleman in the head multiple times. Moreover, one of the male officers was also seen throwing punches as he was claiming that the victim was holding his foot. Considering that there were 5 officers in total on top of her, there was no need to punch the victim. By doing so, however, the officers once again violated their department's use of force policy. Furthermore, since the other officers present did nothing to stop their peers, they were liable for violating their department's duty to intervene policy, which states, when a law enforcement officer uses excessive force or engages in other prohibited conduct, other officers on the scene have a duty to stop such action.
This can't be justified. Ms. Coleman was certainly not trying to assault the officers. You don't see at any point her trying to hit the officers or try to be violent with the officers. She was simply in protective mode because she was in fear for her life.
After the conference, the Newcastle County Division of Police Professional Standards Unit began conducting an administrative investigation to determine whether the officers' actions were within policy. Additionally, the division's Use of Force Review Unit also began conducting use of force analysis, including a detailed video examination. Lastly, the incident was referred to the Delaware Department of Justice, Office of Civil Rights and Public Trust. However, as of the date of this recording, these investigations and reviews are still ongoing. Next up, we have an incident where officers pointed their firearms and used excessive force in detaining 2 parents over their 4-year-old shoplifting. On May 27, 2019, in Phoenix, Arizona, 22-year-old Javon Ames, his pregnant fiancée, 24-year-old Aisha Harper, and their 2 young daughters were shopping at a Family Dollar store. During their shopping, one of their children walked to another aisle before coming back with a large box containing a doll. Obviously, upon seeing this, her mother instructed her to put it back. However, as they were exiting the store, the 4-year-old was still holding onto the doll. Upon seeing this, the store employee ran out and told Officer Nicholas Welch, who was there on a separate shoplifting incident, about the stolen item. How he and his peers handled the situation, though, was morbid to say the least.
Police?
Yeah.
It doesn't open. I promise. I promise it doesn't open.
You're gonna
It doesn't open.
get your hands up!
Get out the fucking car!
You are gonna
Get out the fucking car right now! Yes, get out now! Get out the fucking car!
Already, the officers violated numerous department policies and rules. According to their department's de-escalation policy, whenever possible, employees shall attempt to avoid the use of force by using de-escalation techniques, which include verbal persuasion, commands, warnings, and slowing down the pace of an incident. Furthermore, employees shall not use tactics that unnecessarily escalate an encounter or create the need for force. If the employee has no alternative to using force, the employee shall use only the amount of force that is reasonable, necessary, and proportional to respond to the threat. As clearly seen in the footage of their violent actions, the officers failed to follow this simple policy. Furthermore, it's common sense that they were not allowed to draw their firearms against the unarmed family. Unfortunately, this case still draws similar traits to one that happened in the city of Phoenix, where its city council agreed to pay $475,000 to a family in 2020 after one of its officers approached their parked car with his gun drawn. As reported in the Arizona Republic at the time, the husband and wife were in the car with their 2 young daughters when suddenly a police officer came up, opened the door, and started banging on the window with a gun, saying that he was going to shoot them in the face. From the way these deputies were acting, the events of that case were likely to be repeated here as well.
You recording it?
Yeah, I'm recording it.
Put your hands up. I don't give a Put your hands up. Hands up.
I can't put my hands up. I'm fucking beating, man. I can't. I'm pregnant. This is awful. He's just overdoing shit.
Get up!
Oh, wait.
Despite the father obediently listening to the officer's commands, he kicked Mr. Ames' leg away and pressed him against the vehicle. No doubt this violates their department's use of force policy, which states, "When employees use force, they shall exercise the utmost restraint." Moreover, employees should announce that force will be utilized prior to the application of such force, unless it is impracticable to do so. Furthermore, since the other officers present who were recording failed to stop this blatant use of excessive force, they too were liable for violating the aforementioned policy, which also states that employees shall prevent or stop the illegal, inappropriate, or excessive use of force by other employees. Failure to intervene may subject an employee to disciplinary action.
Where the girl at?
You're not complying with me. Oh, when I tell you to do something, you do it. I am. I'm complying. Okay, right now, shut your mouth.
Oh, look at these kids. Y'all get it. Can I get the babies? Excuse me? Can I get the kids?
It's also important to note that under state law, if a person points their firearm at any person, either as a joke or otherwise, and whether the gun is loaded or not, they can face a criminal charge of Class A1 misdemeanor assault by pointing a firearm. The reckless gun owner can also face an additional Class 1 misdemeanor charge of communicating a threat if they willfully threaten to injure another person by pointing a firearm at them. Since the officer was visibly pointing a firearm at mere children, he must be punished and held accountable for it under this state law.
Excuse me? Officer, can I get the kids? Duffy, go get her kids. Go get her kids. Duffy, go get her kids. Hurry up. He needs to slow down, and those kids is right there.
With no remorse or hesitation, the officers began snatching the mother's children while she was still carrying her. According to Youth Today, police should avoid handcuffing compliant parents in front of the children, and when they have secured the situation, they should let parents comfort their children and explain what has happened. With their actions, however, the officers failed to represent their police department with the integrity that they were supposed to.
Duffy, go get her kids. Hurry up. Duffy, go get her kids, and the lady is pregnant. Duffy, go get her kids. She bringing it. Oh my God. Can I get that? This is all for nothing. This is all for nothing. He's doing too much. He's doing too much.
Put your hands behind your back.
Come on, baby. I like her. Come on, baby. the kid. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget the kid. Get the baby.
I got toys. I live in 246. Yeah.
After the incident, the couple filed a $10 million notice of claim against the city, alleging civil rights violations by the police officers. Phoenix police then confirmed the incident and officers' behavior to be under review. However, as of the date of this recording, there have been no further updates made regarding this case. Moving on, we have an incident where officers tased and used excessive force against an already restrained and handcuffed woman. On March 22, 2022, in Cincinnati, Ohio, a 33-year-old woman from Sedamsville by the name of Sharina Brooks was placed under arrest on an OVI charge and sitting on a chair in the intoxilizer room in a room at the police station in Westwood when she suddenly became upset. According to Fox 19, she wasn't drinking yet, she was being charged and was handcuffed. Frustrated at her situation, the woman began resisting and caused a ruckus in front of her captors. How the officers handled the situation, however, was far from professional.
You got a tasing in the district. Put your hands behind your back. Sit up. Sit up.
Sit up.
Put your hands behind your back.
What happened?
I'm going to light you up again if you don't put your hands behind your back.
I'm sorry. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened?
You know exactly what happened.
What?
Despite there being 3 officers present at the scene, one of them still resorted to the use of a taser to restrain an already detained victim, that too without warning. As such, they violated the ACLU's taser policy, which states, a verbal warning of the intended use of the taser should precede its application. The purpose of the warning is to provide the individual with a reasonable opportunity to voluntarily comply and to provide other officers and individuals with a warning that a taser may be deployed. If, after a verbal warning, an individual is unwilling to voluntarily comply with an officer's lawful orders, the officer may, but is not required to, display the electrical arc or the laser in a further attempt to gain compliance prior to the application of the taser. The aiming laser should never be intentionally directed into the eyes of another, as it may permanently impair their vision. The fact that a warning was given or not given shall be documented by the officer deploying the taser. They also violated one of their policies, which states, the taser is a use of force and is to be used only when necessary to overcome resistance while effecting an arrest, preventing an escape, in self-defense or defense of another person from physical harm, and in accordance with this department's use of force policy.
Can we have the sergeant come back here? Lean forward.
Lean
Have the
forward.
fire department come back as well.
Get back up on that chair. I'm trying. I'm sorry. Please don't do it again.
For the taser, yes.
Okay.
Stand up. Stand up.
What do you want me to do?
What
do you want me to do?
back down. I was just trying to get her off the cuff.
What are you gonna do me again? You gonna take me back?
If you want to keep on playing like you are,
You're laughing at me.
nobody's laughing at
I think
you.
it's funny.
You're acting like a child.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It should also be noted that their police department's taser policy specifically prohibits tasing from the front if that can at all be avoided. It prohibits tasing unless a person is presenting a risk of harm to another person or is assaulting somebody. Despite it being apparent that the officers themselves were fine and that her actions didn't cause other people harm, the victim was tased by the officers for longer than necessary. By doing this, he subsequently infringed upon Ms. Brooks' 4th constitutional right, since the 4th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution prohibits the use of excessive force in the course of an arrest, investigatory stop, or other seizure. Excessive force by a law enforcement officer is force that is objectively unreasonable under the circumstances. Therefore, officers are generally trained under the mantra that force that is unnecessary under the circumstances is also unreasonable.
sorry. I'm sorry. Please don't let me. Please don't hurt me no more.
Doc, should I leave her hooked up?
Just drag her to the car first.
Please don't drag me. I won't fall.
All right,
just stand up.
You can walk, all right? We're going to go to our car. Ready? Stand up.
Yes, sir.
Stand up.
Sorry. Hold on, please. My legs is a little. Please don't take me no more. My legs.
You need to stand
Okay.
up.
I'm trying, please. I'm trying. What is this? I'm feeling in my body. I can't stand up. Hold on. Please don't do it again.
Stop. You're leaning forward in the chair on purpose.
Oh,
You need to start listening.
You told me to stand up. Please. You told me to stand up. Get up.
Stand up. You're acting like a child right now.
Okay. Come on.
You hot? No. Yeah. If you are now. Here.
I'm not right now.
Here. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. It's okay.
My legs, they work.
They work fine.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
not
the first
sorry.
time we played with this game.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
You got your keys to your car.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'll grab them.
Thank you.
Look.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Feet up in there first.
Stop. Stop.
I'm trying. Please. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Please.
As soon as they go to unhandcuff her from the goofy rails, she went crazy.
Although the officers could see that the victim was panicking and possibly unwell, they did nothing to help her calm down. This goes against one of the United Nations Human Rights Office's policies for law enforcement officers, which states, "Law enforcement officials shall ensure the full protection of the health of persons in their custody, and in particular, shall take immediate action to secure medical attention whenever required."
Is she seatbelted in there?
Yep. Yes.
I'm gonna turn on the street camera if it's not on.
I got the fire department coming back for you. Hey, you want to start this?
Hey, Dr. Parks and Dad, please. You got days. You want to talk to me?
First time I use it. Word. Yeah. I was going here with that cuff, one cuff still flailing around.
Well, she was cuffed to the pipe.
But she was kicking and
she was up on the toxizer table at one point. Okay, she's there. What happened?
They were going to unhandcuff her from the rail, and as soon as they went to mess with her, she
Jumped up on the chair and started.
She started fighting.
After the incident, the victim's charges were dropped 4 months after her arrest. These charges included OVI, driving under a suspended license, resisting arrest, improper lights, and having fictitious license plates and unauthorized license plates, according to her attorney and court records. Unfortunately, as of the date of this recording, the aggravating officer is still operating in their department. Next up, we have a case where officers deliberately rammed into a vehicle, resulting in the death of its passenger. On April 8, 2024, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, 17-year-old Riley Doggett and another teenager were found driving a stolen Land Rover near the Allegan-Ottawa County line. When an officer found the vehicle, the teenagers began to take off. The following footage showcases what transpired next.
Okay, now they just rammed the car trying to get past me.
I copy.
K9, it's eastbound right now on 44th. I think it might be damaged. Permission to continue?
4042, copy.
I copy. Have them keep going.
I copy, continue. All units on south, we're going to hold the air. 1857.
Alright, K9, we're hitting moderate traffic. Current speed 70. It does appear that he may have damage to his vehicle.
Speeds at 70, possible damage to the vehicle.
Continuing eastbound, passing division. Current speed 40.
Eastbound, passing division.
Yep, I got one of the tires that's like it's smoking.
10-4.
Traffic.
Traffic's light, we're coming up to a red light. He's slowing down for it. It's coming to a full stop at the red light at Eastern. Looks like we're going to be going northbound.
Copy, turn northbound.
K9, he is northbound in the southbound of Eastern. Let me see if he corrects here in a second. K9, he is corrected. We're northbound. Speed's 80, accelerated.
Range Rover. Get more.
Okay, now we're coming to the red lighted division. It's going to do a full stop. He's going to be turning northbound.
Copy, turn northbound.
Bailing out, bailing out.
Copy, bailing out.
He's going to get permission from 4042 to start that way.
As Mr. Doggett was running on foot, the officer ran over the boy despite being able to catch up with him. While some may argue that the teenager's crimes justified the officer's actions, this certainly wasn't the case. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, law enforcement officers and correctional officers of the Department of Justice may use deadly force only when necessary. That is when the officer has a reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or another person. It should also be noted that 1. Deadly force may not be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect. 2. If feasible and if doing so would not increase the danger to the officer or others, a verbal warning to submit to the authority of the officer shall be given prior to the use of deadly force. 3. Officers will be trained in alternative methods and tactics for handling resisting subjects, which must be used when the use of deadly force is not authorized by this policy. 4. Deadly force should not be used against persons whose actions are a threat solely to themselves or property unless an individual poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or others in close proximity. Since running over a teenager with a vehicle can very easily cause death, the officer did indeed use deadly force to apprehend the victim. However, according to the aforementioned policy, he did not have the justification to use it against a fleeing, unarmed target.
Yeah, let's get everybody over there. Yeah, they're northbound division. I think they're bailing out of the vehicle now, so we're trying to get far from them here.
Yeah, we still have one that ran northbound.
Copy, 1 right northbound. Description.
Second on the east side. Unsure where they bailed. Looks like we have one just east of there.
When reviewing his actions, it becomes clear that the officer was liable for committing aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, which under MCL 750.81d is punishable by up to 4 years in prison, a fine of up to $2,000, or both, and then up to 5 years of probation. Examples of deadly weapons include a gun, revolver, pistol, knife, iron bar, club, brass knuckles, and any other dangerous weapon. Even a vehicle, for example, could be used as a dangerous weapon. Furthermore, despite essentially killing the poor teenager, the officer responsible made no effort to call for emergency services. Not only does this make his crime more sinister, but it also holds him accountable for violating the previously mentioned United Nations policy, which states that officers must ensure the health and safety of those they detain.
10-4, is there a description on the one that ran?
Yeah, I need a priority on my guy.
10-4, chief complaint.
Current white.
After the incident, Mr. Doggett was taken to the hospital. Unfortunately, though, he didn't make it. Despite what happened, the Kent County Sheriff's Office stated that Mr. Doggett was unintentionally struck and that it was a direct result of the inherent risk accompanying the serious criminal activity that his partner was engaged in during the weeks and months leading up to this incident. As of the date of this reporting, no further information or solace to the family has been provided. Moving on, this next incident involved multiple officers jumping a man and using excessive force to detain him. On November 10, 2020, in Lansing, Michigan, police were sent to a street on a report of a fight involving 5 or 6 people. According to Lansing Public Information Director Robert Merritt, officers spoke to 3 people who were standing in the road and determined one, a 25-year-old man, was the primary suspect in the assault. When officers tried to arrest him, though, he resisted, which is when additional officers came to help arrest the man. How they did so, however, was unprofessional to say the least.
Yo, this is crazy. Please don't kill him. Please don't kill him. Please don't kill him. Why are you hitting me?
As was visible in the video, the officers beat and punched the man so severely that a bystander feared that they might kill the victim. According to U.S. Department of Justice, it is the policy of this department to value and preserve human life. Officers may use only the force that is objectively reasonable to effectively gain control of an incident, while protecting the safety of the officer and others, in keeping with the standards set forth in the 1989 case law Graham v. Connor, 490 U.S. 386. Officers may use force only when no reasonably effective, safe, and feasible alternative appears to exist, and may use only the level of force that a reasonable officer on the scene would use under the same or similar circumstances. As the Supreme Court stated in Graham, the decision to use force requires careful attention to the facts and circumstances of each particular case, including the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the officer or others, and whether the suspect is actively resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest by flight. Considering that 7 officers appeared to apprehend one unarmed male and resorted to punching his face, it shows the incompetency of the department's officers and the lack of care for their citizens' well-being.
Just get on your stomach, yo! Please don't kill him!
Put your fucking hands on your back! Keep your hands on your back now!
Just get on your stomach, please! Oh God, man, don't kill him.
Although not visible in the video, one of the officers was reportedly seen trying to hold the victim's wrist and neck to the ground with another sitting on at least one of his legs. Unsurprisingly, this was yet another violation of a nationally adopted policy, specifically the SCRJ model policy, which defines chokeholds as lethal hands-on maneuvers that may cut off the supply of blood and oxygen to the brain, and includes under this definition strangleholds, neck restraints, and carotid restraints. Any and all chokeholds are prohibited under this policy. In the chokeholds chapter, the model policy also outlines directives and prohibitions on breathing impairments. Breathing impairments include strikes to the neck and positional asphyxia. Since an officer was holding the victim's neck, essentially choking him, he had violated this policy. Furthermore, since none of the other officers stopped their peer from using this egregious level of force, they were liable for violating their department's duty to intervene policy, which states officers will be trained in and must recognize and act upon the affirmative duty to intervene, to prevent or stop, as appropriate, any officer from engaging in excessive force or any other use of force that violates the Constitution, other federal laws, or department policies on the reasonable use of force.
Oh my God! God just beat my ass! I didn't do it! I didn't start it, bro. I didn't do it. I'm trying to get to work. Y'all tased me 7 times. You tased me today.
According to the victim, the officers had tased him 7 different times. Since the taser was visibly tossed to the side in the video, one can assume that his claims are true. In that case, the officers were once again liable for using an excessive amount of force in detaining the victim, that too without warning. This undoubtedly goes against the ACLU's taser policy, which states, officers will, if feasible, give the subject a verbal warning before using the taser. The warning should be an explicit statement, such as stop, get on the ground, or you will be tased. Officers will announce to cover officers that the taser is being deployed whenever possible. It also states that the application of the taser is likely to cause intense but momentary pain. As such, officers should carefully consider and balance the totality of the circumstances available prior to using the taser, including the conduct of the individual being confronted, the degree to which the subject has been effectively restrained, and their ability to resist despite being restrained, time and circumstances permitting, the availability of other options, etc. Considering the circumstances in the video, it's clear that the officers had no justification to deploy their tasers, much less 7 different times.
Hey, I need witnesses. I didn't do it. I don't know, punch me. Shake me. You tried to pull my eye out. Mama. George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Hey, get out of here.
I'm trying to go this way.
Go back that way. No. Don't just beat my ass. I'm the victim. No, brother,
After the incident, the victim was arrested and taken to a local hospital for evaluation, something that is standard procedure after a stun gun is deployed. After being cleared at the hospital, he was taken to the Lansing lockup. Moreover, in the struggle, 2 officers sustained minor injuries. Despite how they pale in comparison to what they did to the victim, the police were seeking charges from the Ingham County Prosecutor's Office. A few days later, the victim, Anthony Hulan, sadly died while in the lockup. The medical examiner ruled his death a homicide from positional asphyxia. In spite of this, the 4 officers involved returned to work, which violates the LPD's own internal policies. Although an investigation was promised by the Attorney General's office, there has still been no update to this case. Next up, we have a case where officers used excessive force against a shoplifter suffering from multiple health conditions. On June 5, 2024, in Milford, Connecticut, officers witnessed a 52-year-old shoplifter by the name of Michael Brown leaving the supermarket and subsequently approached him. While apprehending him, however, Mr. Brown suddenly suffered from a medical emergency. How the officers could have handled the newly developed situation, however, should have been better.
Michael, right? What's your name? Not Michael. What is it? You what? Jacob. Okay, you ready? No? Okay. Just hang out. Don't go back to the car.
320, there's all the Sir, you're not getting in the car.
I'm giving you my ID, boss. What's up? 114, have you to step up. Get out of the car.
Hold on. Hold up, I got you. Wait.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car now. Get out of the car.
Wait.
It's time to wait, man. It's okay. It's okay, man. Get out of the car. This week, man. Get out of the car. Okay, wait. We're not waiting. I just told you, wait, man. Let me go. My leg is broken, man. Get out of the car. I just told you, bro. Still, please. Man, please, man. Stop.
Although the officers backed off a bit after being informed that Mr. Brown had a broken leg, the police dog's handler failed to adjust to the developing situation. According to their department's policy on canine units, as applied to police dogs, a canine apprehension is a justifiable and lawful use of force if the threat to officers or public is significant. The need for force must be sufficient to justify the canine apprehension. The circumstances of the event confronting the officer determine whether the use of force was lawful or unlawful. Generally, the use of the canine in an apprehension involves felony suspects, but it is the circumstances of an event that determines the use of the canine, not the classification of the crime involved. Since the officer failed to have his dog stop pestering Mr. Brown, he not only had to use excessive force, but also made it harder for him to comply with the officer's orders.
Get out of the car now.
Okay, I told you let me go.
Fuck around, get out of the car.
I just told you let me go. My leg is broken. Look at it. I can't do nothing. Bro, I'm not fighting you. I'm asking you, please. I'm asking you, please, bro. That's all I'm asking.
Stop trying to get out.
Listen, bro. I told you this.
It's over. Get out of the car. It's over. Get out of the car.
Yeah, put him back in.
Out of the car.
Yeah, put him back in. I'm here already.
Get out.
Stop, man. Wait. My leg is broken. My leg is broken. Stop. My leg is broken.
Step out of the car.
Please stop. Please. Okay, please.
Lay down on your face, dude.
Please.
Lay down on your face.
Please. Hold on, man. My leg is broken.
Don't roll over.
My leg is broken, man. Stop, please. My leg. Yeah, please. Please, man.
I'm already what?
Oh, please.
Hey, stop resisting, dude.
Like that.
Put your hand behind your
Yeah. Oh, please, my leg is broken.
Stop moving.
Please, give me your please. Please. Please, my leg. My leg. Oh, you're playing.
Stop moving.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Here, switch arms. Go.
I can't breathe.
Hey, stop moving your hands, dude.
Please pick me up.
Sorry, I cried.
Hurry up, please. Please.
Get him outside.
Roll over.
Give me some air, please. Both of us are there.
Stop grabbing my leg. Let go.
It's over. It's done.
That's that.
It's done.
If you just got out, it wouldn't turn into this. You did this to yourself.
After the incident, Mr. Brown was taken to the hospital, where emergency medical services said they administered Narcan, a medication commonly used to treat opioid overdoses. Unfortunately, it ultimately proved to have no effect, as he died whilst in bed. Following protocol, the death was investigated by the Connecticut Inspector General's office. As of the date of this recording, however, his cause and matter of death have not yet been determined by the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. Moving on, the following incident involved officers committing manslaughter by improperly detaining their target. On March 21, 2023, in Clark County, Nevada, the local police department received reports of a man swinging a knife at moving vehicles near Greenway Road and Horizon Drive. When officers arrived, they found 53-year-old Ronald Winborn, who had a knife in his hand. The following footage showcases what transpired next.
Good morning. Get on the ground! Get on the ground, you're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased,
Despite having their target on the ground, one of the officers that showed up kneed Mr. Winborn in the neck so hard that it caused his collarbone to break. As a result, he was liable for violating his department's use of force policy for this egregious use of excessive force.
Give us your hand.
I've got his other hand. I got it. Right. His right hand is across his body. I'm holding it. I've got my gun out. I need to secure it.
All right. Go.
Got him?
Yep.
You good, Sarge?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put
cool.
your hand out. Give me your hand.
I don't know where the knife went. It was a butter knife.
Start medical. He went down good.
We have understanding he's confused and he's concerned medical. He's consciously breathing. He's approximately 50 years old, senior 6.
We need another supervisor.
Copy. And confirming you're by O'Callaghan Park, or can you advise the exact location?
Mr. Winborn was then taken to the Henderson Detention Center to be booked on multiple charges, including assault with a deadly weapon and resisting a police officer. Unfortunately, while in custody, police said his medical condition began to decline and was thus taken to Sunrise Hospital. Sadly, he died later that day. The coroner's office said he died from complications of a broken collarbone, and that high blood pressure and liver disease were also complicating factors in Winborn's death. Furthermore, Henderson police said that due to the circumstances surrounding the victim's death, they opened an investigation and, on May 10th, the Clark County Coroner's Office ruled Mr. Winborn's death as a homicide. The department said this was being investigated, however, no further information has been made available regarding it. Finally, our last case of the day involves an officer prolonging the use of their taser on a target, resulting in them going into a cardiac arrest. In September of 2014, at Fort Walton Beach, Florida, Officer Timothy Runnels spotted a vehicle with a license plate that had a warrant on it. As a result, the officer chased down the vehicle and pulled it over. How he handled the following traffic stop, though, was morbid to say the least.
Roll all the way down. I can't hear you. You gotta roll all the way down. You can't hear me? Roll it all the way down. I can hear you. Roll it all the way down. For what? Is this one open? Yeah, what are you doing? Get out. For what? Out. Now. For what? Out. Hey, am I under arrest? Get out. Am I under arrest? Out. I'm gonna pull you out if you don't get out. Pardon me a second. Get out. You really want to get tased right here in the middle of your car? What? Get your out now. I haven't done anything, officer. I haven't done anything, officer. What? Am I under arrest? Yes. Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Come out of the car. Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Give me your hand. You're under arrest. For what? Yeah. For what? For what? Alright, fine. You just get out. Out. What? Out right now. Out of the car. Out of the car. Taser deployment. On the ground. Out of the car. On the ground. On the ground. Ah! Told you. Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Although it's barely audible, one can hear that the officer used his taser for an astounding 20 seconds. This was beyond unacceptable since that is 4 times longer than what the officers are trained to have their tasers deployed for. When taking this into account, it's obvious that the officer violated his department's use of force policy, along with endangering the life of the 17-year-old victim, Bryce Masters. On a more infuriating note, the officer dragged the victim's body across the asphalt and then plopped him face first onto the road, treating him like trash. With such a reckless and soulless act, it would be a crime for the officer not to be charged with aggravated battery, which is classified as a second-degree felony, with penalties of up to 15 years in prison or 15 years of probation and up to $10,000 in fines. A few minutes later, an ambulance arrived and brought out a stretcher to place the now unconscious victim on.
I'll get it. Just keep going. All right, let's see.
Hey. Keep breathing. There we go.
Okay.
Hey. Pupils is this when you need it?
All right, what do you see?
Pupils are
at a 5, 6. Yeah. Any drug use or anything?
Marijuana.
Yeah, he's been booked. I don't know. His drug use in our jail. Full of it right now. I'm shocking and be bib. Still full or not? I don't know. I just smelled it. That's as far as I got. Freaking stuff.
What's that?
I'm gonna hold off on anything as far as the last year. Okay.
It was at this point that the teen's mother arrived on the scene, and after seeing the state of her child, she understandably became incredibly angry.
Sorry about that. For a f***ing dime sack of weed, you mother.
Put that in your pocket. Do not let your eyes off of that.
You got the whole thing?
Right, you alright?
Fuck you!
Look, we'll wait on your force, alright? Who fucking arrested? Who tased him? Put up yourself, come on, man.
No! You guys!
Hey, I'm ready to touch.
Get my fucking badge.
Get it back, man.
Who tased him? I want to know. You?
Why don't you step over there and calm down?
You tased him, didn't you?
Why don't you step over there and calm down?
Go ahead.
Can I go with you? I
You're doing fine. We're doing fine. We're doing fine. You got that dope in your pocket, correct? You're not let it out of your sight.
After the incident, Mr. Masters was taken to a hospital and placed in a medically induced coma. Thankfully, after trial and investigation, the officer was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter.